Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some really significant news concerning Britain's role in the escalating tensions between Israel and Iran. It's a complex situation, and the UK is trying to walk a very careful line. The big news is that the United Kingdom is heavily involved in multilateral diplomatic efforts to try and de-escalate this conflict. Our Foreign Secretary is actually set to meet with Iran's Foreign Minister, Abbas Araghchi, and other European counterparts in Geneva today, June 19, at the request of European foreign ministers. The main focus of these crucial talks: Iran's willingness to wind down or even close its nuclear program. This is a hugely important meeting, as it's the first direct diplomatic encounter since Israel launched what they're calling Operation Rising Lion against Iranian facilities. A legal red light for military action. Now, here's where things get particularly interesting for us here in Britain. The UK's Attorney General, Lord Hermer KC, has provided some very significant legal advice to Prime Minister Keir Starmer. And this advice is quite clear: any UK military involvement in a potential American attack on Iran would be unlawful unless it's strictly limited to defensive actions, such as protecting allies. This legal counsel sharply restricts Britain's ability to support military action, and is creating a political headache for Mr. Starmer. The Attorney General has expressed concerns about the UK playing any role in this, except in defense of our allies. What does this mean? Well, it suggests a strong caution, learned perhaps from past foreign policy missteps, like the Iraq War, where the legal justifications for military action became very controversial. It's a clear move to prevent the UK from being drawn into an offensive war that could be deemed illegal under international law. Prioritizing diplomacy and de-escalation. A spokesperson for Downing Street has made the UK's position very clear, stating, "We want de-escalation, not escalation." This sentiment echoes broader calls for calm from both the UK and Bahrain. Our country's stance is to continue to contribute to all diplomatic efforts to de-escalate tensions and find a lasting resolution to the Iranian nuclear issue. Tragically, this conflict has already led to significant casualties. The Iranian Health Ministry has reported that 224 people have been killed since the Israeli offensive began, with over 90% of those being civilians. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump is expected to make a decision on whether to join the Israeli campaign within the next 2 weeks, while Iran insists it will not negotiate under fire. A tightrope walk for Starmer. This puts the UK in a really tricky position, balancing our strong alliance with the United States and our support for Israel with these significant legal constraints and the strategic need to avoid getting caught up in another potentially unlawful and destabilizing conflict in the Middle East. Prime Minister Starmer, who has been described as a strong proponent of Atlantic relations, and has shown strong support for US-Israeli interests, is facing a direct challenge from the Attorney General's legal advice. This advice, limiting military action to purely defensive roles, is clearly aimed at preventing the UK from being dragged into an offensive war. It highlights a preference for soft power and negotiation over military intervention, reflecting a practical approach to a very volatile region. The growing influence of legal scrutiny. The Attorney General's explicit legal advice truly highlights the increasing impact of international law and domestic legal scrutiny on a state's ability to project military power. The warning that UK involvement could be unlawful and violate obligations under the Geneva Conventions and customary international law serves as a powerful check on the government's executive power. It suggests that in this post-Iraq War era, legal legitimacy is becoming an even more crucial factor in gaining public and parliamentary support for military action. This political headache for Starmer isn't just about public opinion, it's about the fundamental legality of state action, potentially setting a precedent for how future military interventions by the British government are considered and justified. It really elevates the role of legal counsel in shaping foreign policy boundaries.